As we head into the chilly fall portion of the season, 7 races remain in the 2024 season, and a reset for the 12 drivers still in contention for the NASCAR Championship. Today, the NASCAR Cup Series playoff drivers will try to have some luck on their side through the yellow brick road of Kansas Speedway that hopefully gives them a ticket into the round of 8 and get one step closer to Phoenix. Welcome to the first race in the round of 12 in the 2024 NASCAR playoffs. It's the Hollywood Casino 400 presented by ESPN Bet here in Kansas City, Kansas, and in the heartland of America. Absolutely gorgeous weather here today. Temperature in the mid 80s. Look at that, one chance of rain. Absolutely gorgeous sunny weather. Slight wind at 7 miles an hour north or northeast through the racetrack with a 44% of humidity throughout the day. Welcome everyone back to episode of MDK RaceDay. My name is Jett. Hope we're having a wonderful Sunday and the final race of September. Before we get into the 6-week stretch after Kansas, it's the first race of the round of 12 as we get closer and closer to see who will race for a championship about next month's time, or in fact less than around 6 weeks time in Phoenix. Now, like I said, this is the first race of the round of 12 after the cutoff race last Saturday night at Bristol. Let's take a look at how the playoff standings look like heading into the first race of the round of 12 here at Kansas. Kyle Larson, with his incredible dominating win last Saturday night at Bristol, he sits at the top of the standings at plus 39. Second place is Christopher Bell, good run in the round of 16 at plus 24. Tyler Reddick at plus 20, the regular season champion. Fourth place is William Byron, plus 14. Blaney at plus 11. 7 points above the cut line is Denny Hamlin. Chase Elliott at plus 6. And Joe Logano sitting at plus 4 ahead of Austin Cindric. Daniel Suarez just barely makes it out at minus 6. And Alex Bowman and Chase Briscoe fill up the final 2 spots sitting at minus 7 apiece. Busch, the official beer of NASCAR and proud sponsor of the Busch Light Pole Award given to the fastest driver at each NASCAR Cup Series event, Busch Light congratulates Christopher Bell for his 12th career pole in the NASCAR Cup Series, his 4th pole here at Kansas, and the 2nd pole of 2024. Does it with a speed of 179.336 miles per hour. Since 2020, Busch Beer has invested more than $70 million in becoming a premier sponsor of the NASCAR Cup Series. So here's a look at the 2024 Hollywood Casino 400 presented by ESPN Bet. Starting lineup here today. Christopher Bell on pole, starting alongside on the outside front row is his teammate in the 54 car, Ty Gibbs. Row 2 has Kyle Busch, a great run for that 8 car starting up in the 3rd place against the regular season champion Tyler Reddick to his outside. Reddick is also the defending race winner here last fall. Row 3 has Joe Logano, former winner here at Kansas back in 2015, starting alongside William Byron in the 24 car. Row 4 has the defending champion of the series, Ryan Blaney, starting alongside Denny Hamlin, who most recently won here back in the spring of 2023, and ran out the top 10. Awesome runs as well for Chase Briscoe and Daniel Suarez in the 99 ride. Kyle Larson, who won the closest finish in the history of the NASCAR Cup Series at 1/1000th of a second here earlier in the spring, starts in 11th position, starting alongside his teammate Alex Bowman in the 48 ride. Starting in row 7, the 2022 fall winner Bubba Wallace and Carson Hocevar, the rookie from Spire Motorsports, another good qualifying start for him, starts in the 14th position. Row 8 has his teammate, another rookie, Zane Smith in the 71 car and Eric Jones in the 43 ride. Row 9 has Austin Cindric in the 2 car and Ricky Stenhouse Jr. in the 47. And round out the top 20 is Martin Truex Jr. competing in his final Kansas start alongside Ross Chastain in the 1 car. Row 11 has Michael McDowell in the 34 ride, starting alongside Austin Dillon in the 3 car. Row 12 has Justin Haley starting his first race with Spire Motorsports in 2024 after the swap was announced last week. He's starting alongside Noah Gragson in the 10 car. Row 13 has Chris Buescher, the driver who lost to Kyle Larson by 1/1000th of a second, starting alongside with his teammate and boss, Brad Keselowski. Corey LaJoie, like I mentioned with Justin Haley, takes over Haley's ride in the 51 ride for the first time this weekend, starting alongside Harrison Byrne in the 21 car, and round out the top 30 is Josh Berry and Daniel Hemrick in the 31 ride. Row 16 has John Hunter Nemechek in the 42 car and Ty Dillon, who was announced earlier a couple of days ago, I should say, that he will return to Kaulig Racing as a full-time driver in the NASCAR Cup Series, driving the number 10 car and replacing Daniel Hemrick. Row 17 has Todd Gilliland and Kaz Grala. Row 18 has Jimmy Johnson returning to the NASCAR Cup Series for the first time since the Brickyard 400 back in July. The three-time Cup Series winner here at Kansas, starting alongside J.J. Yeley, and rounding out the final row, the 38 car lineup, Ryan Preece in the 41, and Chase Elliott starting dead last after he had to go to the rear due to engine issues that he suffered during practice. Here's a look at the odds to win. The Hollywood Casino 400, Kyle Larson, no surprise to see him at the top of the board at plus 350. Denny Hamlin at plus 500. And a three-way tie at plus 700 between Byron Reddick and Christopher Bell. Ty Gibbs sitting at plus 1100 with Ryan Blaney. Chase Elliott, even though he's starting near the back, I should say at the complete back of the grid, does have some good odds to his name at plus 1200, teammate Alex Bowman at plus 1400, and Kyle Busch and Joe Logano sitting at plus 1800. 2000 goes to Martin Truex Jr., 2500 goes to Bubba Wallace and Brad Keselowski respectively. Chris Buescher and Chase Briscoe sitting at plus 3000, Ross Chastain at 3500, Carson Hocevar at plus 5000, Daniel Suarez at 8000, and rounding out the field, Noah Gragson sitting at plus 10,000 odds. Alright, so what can we expect at Kansas? Well, we do know what we're not going to expect is a boring race. Now, I'm not saying that we're going to see exactly what we saw back in the spring with the closest finish in the history of the NASCAR Cup Series, but we are going to see a fantastic race, and who knows? Hell, maybe I'm wrong. I mean, last fall's race saw a green-white checkered run to the finish with Tyler Reddick making that beautiful three-wide pass to take the lead. Who knows? Maybe we could see a repeat of what we saw in the spring and have another photo finish. One manufacturer we want to look out for is Toyota. Something about Toyota at Kansas, they just figure it out. Until Kyle Larson's win earlier in the spring at Kansas, Toyota was having a 4-win streak at Kansas Speedway up until Larson's win in the spring. So you have to consider Toyota is going to be a factor in this one, considering the fact that Christopher Bell starting on pole alongside Ty Gibbs, another Toyota driver. Denny Hamlin, a former winner here back in the spring of 2023. The most recently, he's gone to victory lane here. But the team that you have to look out for, I think, in the Toyota camp is not Joe Gibbs Racing, but is 23XI Racing. I mentioned they were riding a 4-win streak at this racetrack, but 3 of them, you have to consider those belong to 23XI Racing. Tyler Reddick, Kurt Busch, and Bubba Wallace. So, heading into this weekend, you could see a driver like Tyler Reddick, who's sitting 3rd in the point standings. He's starting up in the 5th position, or I should say starting up in the 4th position. My mistake there. Starting up in 4th place, the defending race winner here from last fall. He can for sure use this race as an opportunity to lock himself into the round of 8, or this could be an opportunity for a guy like Bubba Wallace, who's starting in the 13th position, I should say, that could play spoiler in this race. Like what we saw, what Chris Buescher did a couple weeks ago at Watkins Glen, spoil the playoff party and get his first win in 2 years since right here in Kansas. However, that's the past. Today, or I should say this weekend at Kansas, has been a bit of a mixture. In the one and only practice session, the drivers that topped the race charts were Trackhouse drivers. Ross Chastain and Daniel Suarez were 1 and 2 for the fastest time during practice. 3rd was Alex Bowman for Hendrick Motorsports. 4th was rookie Carson Hocevar, and Ty Gibbs, the top 5. In fact, I should mention that throughout the 5, 10, 15, 20 lap averages, you saw a mixture. I mean, Carson Hocevar was the fastest in the 5 lap averages and was in the top 5 in the 10 lap averages. So Carson Hocevar, he could be a long shot, a dark horse, and have a really good run here today. Ty Gibbs, another driver that ran extremely well throughout the various 5, 10, 15, 20 lap averages, including topping the charts as we get later on into that long green flag run into the 15 and 20 lap averages. Ty Gibbs was right up there. Alex Bowman is another driver who has been, and I'm guilty of this, he's been under the radar, but he's been putting up some solid finishes, and he could potentially, I don't want to say play spoiler, but he can definitely surprise some drivers here tonight and have a really good shot at winning this race. He's starting up in the 12th position, so he's starting a bit back, but if you look at his practice speeds, he has a fast car. So it's interesting that Toyota has been, you would expect to be the manufacturer to beat, but this weekend at Kansas has been a mixture of Chevrolet drivers with Hendrick Motorsports and Trackhouse Racing, which I think can make this race very, very interesting to watch because there's a beautiful blend mix of both playoff drivers like the ones I just mentioned, you know, the Tyler Reddicks, the Denny Hamlins, and the Christopher Bells, but you also have that mixture of non-playoff drivers, the Ty Gibbs of the world, the Trackhouse drivers of Ross Chastain, I should mention, Bubba Wallace, that could potentially play spoiler. And with how the next gen car races at Kansas is going to be very, very fun to watch. Let's take a look at my Fantasy Live lineup here at Kansas. So I got Alex Bowman, teammate Kyle Larson, Denny Hamlin, Christopher Bell, his teammate, Hamlin's driver Tyler Reddick, and I got Bubba Wallace, Reddick's teammate, in my lineup in the garage area. I was considering whether or not to maybe put Wallace or Carson Hocevar, but Wallace has more experience here, and he's overall much better here at Kansas than Carson Hocevar. So I have Wallace in my garage. But the driver that I have winning is someone that I was not expecting to pick. I got Alex Bowman. I have been hard on Bowman. I just have been that type of guy. I just, for some reason, I don't see him advancing on. But listen, I'll admit it. I'm on the Bowman hype train. I like what I see of this 48 car in the past few weeks, especially this weekend. I mean, he led the most laps in the fall of 2022 at 107, so he knows how to run well here at Kansas. Third fastest overall, third in the 5-lap averages, second in the 10-lap averages, and fastest in the 15 and the 20-lap averages. So he's good in both the short and the long run. That can be scary. I got Alex Bowman winning here at Kansas. But those are my thoughts on what I think is going to happen here in today's race. Let me know what you think what's going to happen in the comment section down below. As always, don't forget to check back here later on tonight, recapping the first race of the round of 12. Until then, sit back, relax, and enjoy the 2024 Hollywood Casino 400. Unlike last Saturday, this race is going to be one hell of a race to watch. Until next time, my name is Jett from MDK. Thank you so much for watching. Enjoy the race.